Hello everyone, I'm Stacy Ann Gooden and we are tracking the tropics. Now normally this time of year, this is when things really get going in terms of our tropics. You can see right around August we get 27% of our named storms, 34% in September before things wind down in October and end in November. And Isaac is our storm that we are tracking right now across the Caribbean, wreaking havoc across much of the Caribbean, including Hispaniola. Right now, becoming better organized, you can kind of make out that eye right about there. It's just south of Hispaniola, and it looks like could be making landfall later on tonight in Haiti. There is a hurricane watch in effect for Haiti, which means that there are hurricane-like conditions expected between the next 24 to 36 hours. Tropical storm warning in effect for Dominican Republic, Cuba, as well as the Bahamas. So something that we are watching out. And, you know, areas like these islands, these smaller islands like Jamaica, will get some effects from Isaac, but of course not a direct hit. So those outer bands may dump some rainfall across Jamaica, about 2 to 4 inches potentially. Some areas may get a little higher, but in terms of Hispaniola, 8 to 12 inches of rain is expected. Higher amounts could see up to about 20 inches of rain. 4 to 8 inches in Cuba. Storm surge, a major issue, mudslides, damaging winds and flooding, especially across Haiti. Folks there are still dealing with the effects of the hurricane, or rather the earthquake that occurred a couple of years ago. So something that we're tracking, and the bullseye right around Port-au-Prince. So in the coming days, of course, a lot of folks are still intense and could see some major damage and effects from Isaac. So let's take a look at Isaac's path. Winds 65 miles per hour, moving at about 10 miles per hour in the northwest direction, so it has slowed down just a little bit. But throughout the overnight hours, Isaac is expected to regain some strength. As I step aside for a second here, by Saturday afternoon, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So as with the case, going over ocean waters, hurricanes tend to strengthen because these warmer waters act as fuel. But once over land, the opposite occurs. It kind of rips apart with all the friction. By Sunday at around 2 in the afternoon, 65-mile-an-hour winds are expected. So Isaac is expected to regain some strength. We'll be making landfall sometime early next week across southern Florida. Now, the path here, as you see, the cone of uncertainty is what we call it, could make landfall anywhere from this end to about this end that you see, and we'll show you the spaghetti plots in just a little bit. But once over land, this is going to be the deciding factor as to how much Isaac is expected to intensify. Over the Gulf, water temperatures are so warm, Isaac is expected to make landfall somewhere along or around this area. The Florida Panhandle seems to be the consensus, and of course once over land will continue to weaken somewhat. So Tuesday at around 1 p.m. or so, that is a potential landfall timing on that, and then moving up in toward the Gulf states and further north later on next week. So here's a look at our spaghetti tracks that we've been talking about. Now this pretty much symbolizes where in fact Isaac could continue on its path. Now right now, positioned just south of Hispaniola, making landfall right around here, southern Haiti, right around Port-au-Prince, then moving back into the ocean waters just for a short time, making landfall again in Cuba, being ripped apart, torn apart because of the friction from the land, and of course back over the warm ocean waters, positioning around the Florida Straits and making its way right around the Gulf sometime next week. Of course, looks like Miami may take a hit, making landfall sometime early next week, moving over to the Gulf and then making landfall again anywhere along this area here, anywhere from about Mississippi or even eastern Louisiana on over into Florida once again. And in terms of us being affected by Isaac, well, there is a chance that we could see a few showers out of this, not a whole lot. Looks like he'll take a turn, maybe head north in toward the Great Lakes or even right back out to sea. May dump some rain across the Carolinas, may even stretch as far north as our area. So it's a little early, I know. We'll be keeping a close watch on Isaac in the coming days and let you know what you can expect.